Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. As you already know, I am George Onyibe from the Uncompleted Building. Let us continue with the series I've been trying to make expose on, a theme I titled The Order of the Messengers, the merchandise rather. And of course, I made us to understand that there are 4 orders that governs every community, from the lowest settlement, hamlet, to the highest, the global community. Every form of community, it is managed, influenced, controlled, dominated, developed, destroyed, or whatever by these 4 orders. And it's fortunate enough for us that we may not be deliberately responsible for deciding the order we belong to, but we can switch position. We can choose to move from the order of authority, the order of monarch, the order of leadership, into the order of the teachers, which is the order of the custodians. Or we can move to the order of the merchandise, or the order of the slaves. These are the 4 orders. And for some time now, I've been talking about the order of the merchandise. And not until I exhaust this series, it's not going to be very necessary to begin to look at the other orders in order not to confuse anybody. And now, I choose to deal with this order of the merchandise more than or giving it priority, because the order of the merchandise may seem not to be relevant. They are very powerful, they are very flexible, they can be very destructive, and in fact, I could refer them as the scorpion of the zodiac sign. And so I need you to take time and follow this series. Share it to those who feel to know, those who can discern. Share it to your friends. Try to analyze it. Pay attention. You may be able to see the truth that is beyond this broadcast. And so our topic under this theme this morning is, if you do not mount up resistance, even what nature has given to you will be taken from you by this order of the merchandise. And when I mean mounting up resistance in this instance, please, I want you to understand that it's not resistance of struggle, resistance of fighting, resistance of violence. It is the resistance of congregation, the resistance of forming alliance, the resistance of incorporation, resistance when it comes to the issue of congregation, resistance with that idea that there need to be a collaboration, the coming together of those involved to liberate themselves. And now, taking Nigeria as a case study, because I am a Nigerian from Agbo, exposing the art of merchandise. And so when the merchandise begin to do the things that is favorable to themselves alone, they not only endanger the whole nation, the global community will be at risk. I know you don't fully understand. And so in the country called Nigeria today, I must be sincere to you. The overall influence of the merchandise in Nigeria is controlled by Igbo people. But this does not mean that the Yoruba and the Hausa are not part of the merchandise. And so they control certain areas of our life that if we do not form collaboration, incorporation, if we do not congregate around ourselves to develop a defense mechanism, on that raining day, we will not be spared. For instance, when you talk about the Nigerian Biafra war, Igbos are lamenting that they were killed. 10 million, 6 million, 4 million Igbo died. This is because they underestimated the Nigerian troop. They ignored the power of negotiation. But the truth there is that my people die for what they didn't know. If Midwestern region was not a state where we have respect for one another, Benin people will be blaming us for what we know nothing about. I had a broadcast I dedicated to my brother, wounded civilian, warning him not to say that Abo or Anyoma betrayed Benin because he had no idea what happened. If we did not have mutual understanding, in fact, if we did not migrate from Benin, we would be fighting ourselves because of the things that happen. The Nigerian descended on us, and we said we can't be middle ground. Go and ask Olusegun Obasanjo, ask him what happened in Asaba massacre. It's uncalled for. Igbo people will only tell you about Asaba massacre when they want to paint Nigerian bad image. We paid the price. Our people have constantly been used in time past, and now it will not happen again. This is made possible because they are part of the order of the merchandise. And now let's move to the Hausa. If the Hausa people wake up tomorrow and say they are going to kill all of us, forget about those stouts saying they are Biafra people, thinking that the power to destroy the world lie in AK-47. In their hallucinative mind, if the Hausa said they are going to kill the whole Nigerian today, mark my word, a project of 4 years, just one tenure of one Hausa man in power, all of us will be dead without violence, without speaking words. Do you know why? When it comes to food, they are the merchandise. They are not the only people farming. And honestly, I don't believe they are the greatest farmer in Nigeria. But you see, they control farm produce. Hausa go to Ogbaru in Anambra, buy yam, and push it in the wheelbarrow. You say it's Hausa yam. You know of the truth. Hausa don't plant yam. It is Benue, Zakembia, Otuo, and then the rest of them. But Hausa is not a major dealer of yam. But that does not mean Hausa does not control our food. Tomatoes, onions, and the rest of it. We give it to them. But they control the farm produce. And so when Hausa want to destroy the whole Nigeria without making noise and bragging like Igbo Biafra people, they will weaponize the food. And I'm telling you, all of us will go down one after the other. This is the order of the merchandise, but you won't understand. And so we relax because people are doing these things for us. That is why you are called minority. My Abo people, listen up. People of the South, listen up. The orders themselves were not created for evil purposes. The orders were created for us to be able to defend ourselves, fend for ourselves, progress as a free moral agent, create the world that we desire. But then he said before us good and evil. He said before us life and death. He encouraged us to take the positive, not because the negative is not needful. We all need them because in mathematics or arithmetic progression, you will understand that minus minus is minus, plus plus is minus. It has to be negative positive to be positive. Now let me stop that. When I say we must mount up resistance, I am telling you as an Abo man, as a South man, as a minority man, Idoma, Egala, Nupe, Gwali, all of you who are considered minority, in your supposed to hijack one Nigeria by Wazobia. You are the ones I'm talking to. Because Yoruba know this game already. Hausa know this game already. Igbo are master of this game already. And they play all of us, making it look as if irrelevant. We sometimes ignorantly think they don't have sense. And that is why an Igbo man will have all the PhD he wants. He will go to Ochanja market and be selling motor pass. Or be doing importing and exporting. And we mock them and call them buying and selling. And believe me, they have their way. And you see Aboki pushing wheelbarrow. It's Aboki now, don't worry. The order of the merchandise. Very complex one. Very dangerous people. Now, the reason why we must come together, it is to survive them when they run on the offense. Because the way these Igbo Biafra people are pushing issue, This is how they push it earlier. And we may plunge into another war, which we don't pray for. And any of this part of Wazobia that is planning for war, get ready. Minority will teach you a lesson you will never forget. It's a promise, but you will not understand. I am prophetically telling you what will happen. That is why I beg my Igbo people. You see this drum of war you are beating. Pray it does not come from you, because you have upset the balance already. But let me leave them for the sake of the people who I am trying to point to the right direction. You see, I was listening to my brother, Dele Momodu, how he was vigorously telling us how some Nigerians came together and then they say to revolution to start, let's kill all the politicians who are corrupt. And amazingly, you have more Igbo politicians in the system. But none of them was killed. So it is only Yoruba and Hausa politicians that are corrupt, that they need to kill, so Nigeria will be sanitized. And nobody is showing remorse over this criminality. And Dele Momodu, supposedly Midwestern man, Dele Momodu, as I heard, supposedly Bini man, Dele Momodu, as I heard, supposedly South man is talking that rubbish. The rubbish we have talked in ignorance. The rubbish a lot of people have done in ignorance. People like FFK, people like Barrister Zukohyo, all of them, all the rubbish. Anybody talking that will look at you and will laugh. Because what is coming for you, you are not ready. This is the time for you to look inward and ask yourself, if Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo choose to run on the offense, our fate as minority in Nigeria will be the fate Africa is suffering before the global community today. You will not understand. When you hear about war, First World War, Second World War, majority of the people who initiated this crisis were not the one at the forefront. When you hear most countries, they want to go. No, check the issue of Russia and Ukraine. They're looking already for Africans to go and face the bullet. That is our fate. So when you see Igbo people, for instance, begging for unity, everybody is Igbo. They know what they are planning for. And you are going to be the one to suffer. Look at the people who carried out the Igbo coup. You will see the people they use there are from our region, Midwestern region. Go and look at the people who are constantly used and dumped. Little wonder I was made African rep in IPOB, thinking they can use me to do the dirty job, use me to pull the shot, and at the end of the day, they will misbehave. I understand they are planning to raise up a legal system issue with me. Yes, I was reliably informed that they are looking for a way, these Igbo Biafra people, they are looking for a way to set me up and raise up a legal issue against me. And believe me, I love it. I've been praying for it, and I'm waiting for all of you. And your life will never remain the same again. Your highest trophy is to make a matter out of me. You will suffer dearly for it. And I'm sure you know what you people did to Adakaburu is still haunting all of you till today. The betrayer of Chukwuma Zogo will never let all of you go free. And you see the worst part of it. What you did to your fellow Igbo brother, murdering them in cold-blooded for not supporting your shenanigan. Igbo blood is crying out against all of you. If you want to learn, learn. If you don't want to learn, be planning. We are observing you. But our concern is that everything we have risked our life to prevent will not happen in our absence. And that is why we have to do what we are doing in this moment. And now let me tell you what it truly means. When I was in Lagos, I worked for a company, a transport company. It was owned by Nnewi man. And there are three brothers. The three brothers combined and opened that company. One of them is a retired major in the Nigerian army. And then the other one is in Japan. And then their younger brother is in Nigeria. The one in Japan is shipping in so many consignments to be managed by the junior one who is in Nigeria. Almost nobody. I don't know who that guy is. He doesn't talk. He doesn't make noise. He's a very progressive-minded individual. And then the elderly son is a retired major. You should understand the kind of person he is. And so when you have issue with that younger brother who is very calm and don't talk, you'll be raking, you'll be making noise, you'll be looking at you, won't talk. In your mind, you will think you are going to deal with him. You will think you will destroy him. But something happened one day. They were having issue with a policeman, maybe inspector. An inspector did not know the person he is harassing is a retired major who has license to a private pistol, because having retired from the Nigerian Army for a very long time, he still has his licensed pistol with him wherever he goes. And then the policeman with his little convoy, they harass him, gru, and that one is hot-tempered. He brought out his pistol, beat up that inspector somewhere in Orile Igomu. And you know, we have a police station there, a very formidable police station. And then the crisis almost like was escalating. Other forces came and it looked like they were pressure on my boss, an Igbo man. And by the time they moved them, because all the police that came to defend their Oga, all the army, all of them were moved down to Gordon Barrack then. And then they did not touch the army man, the retired army man, but they picked his brother. And the army man kept quiet. His pistol was smoking already. Maybe they know how to obey the last order. He will report later, but they did not touch him. And then when we sat back and were narrating what happened, somebody said something. He said, you see this Inewi people. I was very small then. He said, you see this Inewi people, if you are fighting one person, and you think you are fighting one person, then you will lose. He said, these people are so connected that when you have problem with one Inewi man, write it, you are having problem with all the Inewi. This is unique, I must tell you. And this is exactly what I want Southside people to know. This is what I want Abo people to know. This is what I want my people to know. And this is what I constantly tell my children to know. It's not all Igbo that have this mentality. It's not all Igbo. That is why I call out Inewi specifically. When you as a Nigerian, you are having issue with any Inewi man from Anambra, even though he's 3 years old child, before you engage that child, have it at the back of your mind that you are going to fight the whole Inewi. Because they understand how the orders work. And when it comes to the order of the merchandise, they are ready. South, are you ready? When things lose now, you begin to hear, but it's not a Bini man, but it's not a Bibio man, but it's not a Joe man. My brother, they will pick all of us aside one after the other. And we can't be able to mount resistance. I'm coming. If you watch, there are a lot of organizations around the world that are pretending to be protecting the interest of humanity. In one way, they may be doing the right thing, but in another way, they are up to no good. When Russia started having problem with Ukraine, NATO started jumping up and down. We will do Russia this, we will do Russia that, we will do Russia this. And I see people divided in their opinion. Some people are in support of Russia, some people are in support of NATO, and I see most of them are driven by emotion or the information at their disposal. Because the point is, why did they form NATO in the first place? They were afraid of the expansion of the Soviet Union. And so European countries, seeing Soviet Union expanding into the European territory, they formed NATO. And with NATO, Soviet Union is no more. America did their job well. The only thing left of Soviet Union is part of Ukraine and then part of Russia. And then NATO now, what they stood for, what they fought against, is the same thing they are doing, trying to now take Ukraine to become European Union. And Russia say no. That is where Putin began to do what he's doing. And it's a simple. Ukraine cannot be part of NATO. It is as simple as that. This is the state. This is what Russia say. And Russia didn't keep quiet because they now go to form their own. Is it BRICS they call it? With West South African, Korean, Indian, all of them form their own. So when you strike as NATO, then they will strike as BRICS. And don't think they are the only one. There are many bodies like that. But when you don't know what is going on, you say, oh, no, I support NATO, I support the BRICS. So many organizations like that. The amount of resistance for their survival. But yeah, they soon forget why they were there in the first place. And the same thing they promise to protect, they will continue to destroy it. After the Nigerian Civil War, Igbo people took advantage of the order of the merchandise. They fought back economically to come back. And it pays off at the end of the day. But now what are they doing? They are making mockery of us. They want to destroy us. They want to remove us. They want to manipulate us. But you are not getting it. The resistance we are mounting now is to stop them. The same way the BRICS is trying to stop the NATO from taking Ukraine from Russia under the former Soviet Union, is the same job we are doing today to make sure that Igbo will not inherit us. They will not. I would have been calling Yoruba, I would have been calling Hausa, I would have been calling other tribes, but that is not their style. It's not yet the agenda. When it becomes the agenda, I believe we will be ready there. And so all these things I'm trying to narrate is to tell you how mountain of resistance starts. Somewhere along the line, the European nation, the imperialist country, the colonial masters, let me give them some respect. They started fighting themselves over who owns Africa. France say, I own Cameroon. Nobody goes there. Arabs say, I own Sokoto. Nobody goes there. Britain say, I own the West, Yoruba land. Nobody goes there. Portugal say, I own Niger Delta. They just shared us. And now, Arab will encroach into Kwara. British will say, no, go back, or we fight ourselves. They will have conflict. France will crouch into Benin Republic. Britain will say, no, he belongs to us. Go back or we fight. They were trying to have conflicts. They know if they fight against themselves, they will tear themselves apart. That is the essence of the Berlin Conference. And to protect each other's interest in a continent that does not belong to them. In order to sustain this subjugation, they formed mount-up resistance and divided us among ourselves. Little wonder we have Arabian fool in Africa. We have Francophone in Africa. We have Anglophone in Africa. We have Portugal in Africa. And other and yet we don't have microphone. Don't get me wrong. They mounted up resistance. And along the line, some individuals begin to propagate the Pan-African movement. But greed will not let them focus. They rushed and formed AOU, Organization of African Unity. Where is the Organization of African Unity? The idea was to mount up resistance, to checkmate the excesses of the imperialists. But where is the Organization of African Unity? You see, because those who know the truth hide the truth from others, it will not sell. Because those who already are ahead of us are so greedy that they forget that their money is not going with them when they die. They forget the destiny of their own children. That then when the system, the balance is upset, even what they hold dear will be the target of everybody. And I ask again, Africans, where is your Organization of African Unity? It failed. They do not understand the need why they must fight together to mount up this resistance. And then maybe Africa would have been excelling like Indians today, like the Chinese and the Japanese. But I'm coming. Maybe you will understand at the end of the day. When the OAU could not stand, some Africans, part of Africa, did gra-gra. You know what is gra-gra? Let's mount up our own resistance. Since there are countries in Africa that have been compromised already, they will not want to join us because their imperialists have dropped their seed of discord among us. So don't you know there are countries in Africa that there is no black man? How did they get there? The whole country in Africa. I won't call their name for some reason, but the whole country in Africa. They won't even allow you to enter there. There are countries in Africa that African man supposedly will not allow a black man to enter. And then West African did gragra. They now form ECOWAS. What have we been doing to ourselves as ECOWAS? Have we been able to understand the implication and the influence of the order of the merchandise in terms of global reference? And then we're going to fight ourselves. I remember when I went to Benin Republic, I have to bribe and to bribe and to bribe and to bribe and to pay. Okay, let's say I have to pay and to pay and to pay because I was not bribing them. Even with my passport and everything, I have to pay to cross different border. And I'm not telling you Benin, Cotonou people are bad, because to enter Cotonou, I paid hell out of myself. And then to come into Nigeria, I paid hell into my own Nigeria. And believe me, I would not have been able to succeed without being victimized, except a Nigerian who knew this route took me through those routes. But we are ECOWAS. Where is your visa to go to Benin Republic, my backyard, to go to Cameroon? Where is your international passport? And you think you're building a future for the next generation of Africans. All of you be deceiving yourself as politicians. We are watching you. Do not forget, these orders can shift. It's not going to be us. When we say we are watching you, now we are here. We were there before. And tomorrow we will become your ancestors. And those ancestors who has gone before us, they have risen from among us. But you will not understand, because some of the things that is embodiment of the truth that sustain the universe, they have been demonized and mesmerized. And that is why when they saw, during the transfiguration, Moses, Elijah, and John the Baptist appeared, or Moses, Elijah, and was it Abraham, appeared in the transfiguration. And the disciples asked Jesus, haven't seen Elijah. And then they did not say that Elijah will come first before the coming of the Messiah. And Jesus said to them, truly I tell you, Elijah has been here. They did to him whatever they wish, never knowing he was Elijah. Read your Bible very closely in the transfiguration. And then the Bible said the disciples understand that he was telling them about John the Baptist. I know theologians will come and tell me, you don't believe in reincarnation. Reincarnation is some biblical. My brother, I believe in reincarnation. Reincarnation, I have no regret. Let me leave that song for now. There's a song known as Reincarnation. Go and sing it by one African lady. And now what am I telling you? We are not going anywhere. We don't die. Dying is a different level of transformation. Let me digress. It is a different whole level of transformation. When people get old, they become fear. People are afraid of becoming old. But this is the highest form of transformation you are going to go through. You have to embrace it. He said that you embrace it boldly and understand what is ahead of you, or live in fear and then spend the rest of eternity in fear. We really don't die, because each of you produced thousands of you before you are gone. And then my Father who is gone left a part of him in me. And when I leave, some part of me will still be on my children. And when nature ecosystem is reactivated, we are all connected in the end. And that is why in one of my teaching, I told you there is no blank slate for anybody. Before we were formed in our mother's womb, before we were created, every of our member was written in his book. Let's leave it at that. And so what I was saying, West African came together, they do gree. Where is the evidence of ECOWAS? Not to talk of AOU, because they don't understand why this must be true. People like Gaddafi, everybody who tried to create this resistance, they become a threat to most supposed world power, advanced nation. Why are they afraid? Because it is either they balance the equation. And that is what do they call it in English? Equity. Equity simply means creating a platform for everybody to access everything equally. But we all know it's just vocal. It does not exist when it comes to the practical. Theoretically, they tell you about equity, fairness, and equity. It's a lie, only in theory. Practically, no. Dog eat dog. Survival of the fittest. That is not equity. And I'm sure they've told you that. And so today, bringing it down to Nigeria where we are, that is raising up these issues. Why I'm calling on my Igbo people to mount up resistance. It's as simple telling the South people, mount up resistance. What is this resistance? This resistance is to form a collaboration where every component member will be incorporated. Look at the Igbo people, beautifully organized. They are not all the same. That is why some say they come from Israel, some come from Uri, some come from Equatorial Guinea, some come from South Sudan, some come from Egypt, some come from Abraham Lyons, some even come from Yoruba. But beautifully, look at the incorporation. Destroyed, collapse everything about them. And then build up one fraudulent entity now that want to threaten the existence of the rest of us. And that is why you constantly see them. Their political class will never come out to condemn anything. But when you challenge what threatens them, it is still their political class that will mount up as with the wings of eagle to oppose you. Each time they tell you, yes, Tinubu has come to Enugu. He's a good man. We are doing everything. We will arrest Simon Ekpa. And when they finish, they say, I beg, don't forget to leave Nnamdi Kanu for us. And then you begin to wonder, is there any difference between Simon Ekpa, Nnamdi Kanu, unknown gunmen, de facto customary government, unity beggar? Is there truly any difference? Only fools will allow them to disturb them. They are all the same. The same motor, different driver. That is the power of incorporation. The ability to initiate proper induction. We lack it. We lack it. Igbo people, this is the time for you to mount up resistance. And what are the resistance? That land belongs to you the last time I checked. And until they take it from us by policies, by decree, by maybe fraudulent amending constitution to take that land from us. It's our land, it's our inheritance. What we do with it, we will be blamed for it at the end of the day. Even while you are alive, they are claiming you already. Agbo is Igbo, Agbo is Igbo, Agbo is Igbo, and some idiot are buying it. Agbo is Igbo, Agbo is Igbo. Even when we know we can be able to trace our home back to Benin more than to Onitsha. And yet, you are not saying it. But have you heard Benin tell you, Agbo is Benin, Agbo is Benin? Have you heard them say that? And you are not suspicious. The resistance we are going to mount up is to learn from Adamu Farouk. It was resistance they were mounting up. And after almost 25 years, it is paying off. He said, you see this thing these Igbo people are doing? We will teach our people to do the same thing. And today, 90% of Okada riders in Nigeria are Hausa people. They use Okada, but who initiated Okada? It is Benin people. Okada Airline. And why will we not be the people championing Okada? Oh, it's a local job. It's a local job. Don't worry. I won't tell you what will happen. Your food. Go to your villages now. We don't go to farm again. It is Hausa people, that thing you think you know, including the Igbo man that is jumping up and down now. I think recently they are reducing or minimizing using Hausa security. Before, there is no Igbo man whose life is not in the hand of Hausa man. Because they don't trust themselves, including almost all Nigeria. And so the easiest people to go and then employ to secure them is Hausa man. And you say Hausa is a mumu. They mounted up resistance in a way you don't know. So each time you are making no, I will destroy Hausa. Your gate man where they protect you. That time I was some man. You shall see how you will do that. But Hausa people are not this slow. Not as if they cannot be engineer or medical doctors or scientists. But they understand everybody cannot be doctor. The same way we now believe everybody can be Yahoo. Up to the extent that in Delta State we have University of Yahoo. Go and ask Nigerian police. University of Yahoo in Warri. In Delta State. Because once we see money, all of us flock there. When that system closes, we are gone. And that is why I keep warning our people in other series. My own and your own is not the same. The only thing we have to boost as Southside people, as Igbo people, is our own. We are all here. We have all here. No. What do you have? Hausa today knows our community more than all of us by the virtue of Okada. You don't even know more than your village, and you are challenging them. Your people don't learn mechanic again, and you are making noise that you have Mercedes-Benz. My brother, when Mercedes-Benz spoil, now only your perceived enemy go repair them. I go know whether you get Mercedes-Benz. I know say you know they understand. Because you think it's hate that drives me. No. Yeah, let's go to this place and eat pizza. Let's go to Chicken Republic, Mr. Biggs. Let's go and chop. You know get sense. You know sabi cook. And you are a slay queen. And one day, the person that knows how to cook is your enemy. I will see what you are going to eat if it's not poison. No, I don't like beans. I like eating rice. Let's go and eat rice. And you don't know how to farm. I've told you before. My brother in America called me. He said, do you know my son, who was 21 years, was asking his father, how do they plant goats? They are in America, and they will tell you they have sense. That is why you see some useless old men who don't know themselves. Born children, give them pampers. Even at 30 years, their children is wearing pampers. To them, that is advancement. That is chopping life. Your 21 years old son is asking you, Daddy, how do they plant goats? The father was mesmerized. He knew he has not trained his son. His son is very brilliant. He knows 2 times 1 and 2, 2 times 2 and 4, 2 times 4 and 6. He knows all of them. He knows that Mungo Park and Landa Brothers discovered River Niger. He knows it. Give us history back. We are waiting for the history in a time like this. I'm appreciative that Tinubu will give us back history. But you educational people bringing this history, get ready. You will fail our children in the class. And we will tell them a different history at home. Make sure you are presenting the right history. And so my brother in America, no, his son, no, that Mary Slessor, only God knows where he come from. Stop the killing of twins in Calabar. You get the point? If you don't get the point, forget about it. The reason I'm bringing up all these things is somebody who is a PhD, electronics engineering, WQQ, universal law education, all the rubbish degree, was asking his father, how do they plant goats? And you are cursing Abuki or Shenama. Don't worry. Now, the main purpose of this broadcast, the only way we can mount up resistance is continue or go back and begin to give orientation to our people. Let them go and learn handwork. Carpenter, whether they are graduate or not, shoemaker, tailoring, farming, agriculture, electrician, which work, send them to go and learn handwork. If it's not useful today, it's going to be useful tomorrow. And for you to sustain it, you must encourage them. That is where another form of resistance comes up. I was following a group of people online, and this was their discussion. What do they call the group? It's like their name is Igbeizue, and somebody was making a mockery of them that Igbeizue has fallen. And so I paid attention to what they were saying. They were saying it in Igbo. They were naming all the investment they have initiated We have rice farming. We spend 20 million naira. Today, we cannot account for any money, so we are closing it down. We have technical training institute. We spend 100 million. Today, we are not seeing the return. They mention different groups they have formed, platform to help their people. Now, because they are not getting the return, they are shutting down. And now, what they do is one community will come, and somebody who has the capacity will say, see, I want to open technical shop. Those who want to learn generator, come. Let me teach you. Once you learn, then you go and start working. Help us to sustain the project by giving what you can. And then everybody will go and learn mechanic for free, whether they are mechanic in future or not. One day they will remember you. I think there are some students who pay school fees, and all of a sudden they will wake up and form a alumni association. I say, we the old student of this school, despite that they only gather to go and drink beer and do party. But ordinarily, they remember where they are coming from. If you train 100 people, all of them will not be useless. My first son is a very good instrumentalist. And how did he get this gift? He went to a church, and their pastor invested in them, bringing in instrumentalists to teach them. He became committed. He learned. And let's say there were about 20 of them that were taught. All of them learned very well. And the moment they finished training them, all of them disappeared. Phew. Only my son left behind. And I asked him, you're not going anywhere. This is the sacrifice you must pay, because they have paid the sacrifice for you. He stayed there almost 3 years in that church. I won't mention the name. A very big church, playing freely for them. But I tell you, God has been more faithful than I can ever anticipate. But I know how these things work. Not only has he left them, as I speak to you, he has trained people who are committed like him, who has taken his place in his absence. And so teach your people. Some of them are going to frustrate you. They will make you regret it. You don't regret it. You see this journey we enter today. When we see true Igbo man that is truly repented, we will pull our support behind them when they are to do the right thing. But when they are doing this yahoo, we will swim against the tide to prove them wrong, because this is who we are. But let's teach them first. When I tell you my history with my father, you will be shocked. But it's somebody I treasure. Somebody I treasure. I won't tell you in details. Because when I was very small, he showed me the path. And now I take you back to the Bible. Train up a child in the way he should go. When he is old, he will not depart from it. It's simple. The next generation today, we are celebrating them. They are Yahoo that cannot spell his name. Yahoo that cannot brush his teeth properly. Yahoo, we are celebrating them. They are driving Benz. Japan and people who produce these Benz don't have it. They use bicycle. People who have suits. Have you seen Zugaba? How many times when Zugabite came to Nigeria, was he wearing suit? We're gonna use on our brain. But how would they know except we tell them? Mountain resistance simply means forming association. Make a call the long story short. Go and form association, market association, traders association, farmers association, electronics association, caterpillar association, toilet association, cow association, poultry association. Go and form association. And let all these departments begin to change the orientation of our people to become useful to themselves, first of all, our communities, then back to our region, and then the entire nation. Because charity begins at home. You are waiting for Igbo people to do it. They are taking over your life already. Don't worry. They control the money in your community by selling tomato for you, selling pepper for you, selling everything for you. You are doing slay coin and Yahoo boy. Don't worry. When you want to maintain your Yahoo and your slave shiftsness, you're going to sell your fatherland. You are going to sell your property to them. Maybe that's your Benz and your phone, and we are going to blame them when that time comes. My brother, wake up. My concern with them is that trying to asmit us by fraudulent means, like Jacob to Esau. We will not allow that. But if you have sense, choose your path. So do not be afraid they will mess you up. That is when the automatic body will come up. Because they will certainly mess you up because of the level of their maturity. But if we work harder, we will prove them wrong and reward the honest one. And the reward you give to the honest one and the level of success they attain to will become the motivating factor that drives everybody. It's a long process. I'm looking forward to progressive-minded people where we can outline, set out the blueprint of how these things function. And so that in our arm sense, we can be able to develop, produce a true 360-degree set of leadership who will sustain what we have labored for. But if you don't understand what I'm saying, sorry, I cannot help you. I will leave this broadcast at that. But I will not fail to go to my comment section because these Igbo Biafra people, I love them. They are the motivating factor. If they were not insulting me, if they were not talking down on me, maybe I would have been doing my job gradually to enlighten my people. Now that they have run on the offense, I will help them offset the balance. Any day any Igbo man insult me, I will give it to the whole Igbo. Woto. Boom. I said, don't generalize this. You don't have sense. When Igbo people, social media warrior, opened a platform and was cursing me, I never see Igbo people come to warn them. Leave this boy alone. Every Igbo was happy. Yes, it's only beribe. Nah, I'm only beribe. You tell me not to generalize it, God will punish you. Because I learned it from Nnamdi Kanu. Yorubas are chameleon. Yorubas cannot be trusted. Afonjas. Yoruba o Nnamdi Kanu, Igbo man. Awosas, Fulani, Wiati, Jinji, Janjaweed, they are criminal, they are terrorists. Nnamdi Kanu, Igbo man, the whole Awosa. No Igbo was crying, oh, our son, don't generalize it. Oh, but come to think about it, the worst of it all in our faces, people. If God don't give us Biafra in 2015, let all Igbo and their children die. All Igbo must die. I go post the prayer for Namena, no worry. It didn't occur to you because you don't have sense. One idiot, son of a colonial master, come out and be cursing all of you. It's me now that is your problem. You are an idiot, you don't have sense. Let me change. Now the Kanu Radio Biafra said, Igbos are cursed in his words. Igbos are cursed. Was he not generalizing it to your own hopelessness? If you not lie, me no talk to na people. Me na ti say we be na mugu. Nunu keji she anye pato makasa enyi hu each ono. Ejoku kuma agwo no gele anje jeko de juice up babili ono eka. Maka na nyi ti eka ibubu ya kememe. Ihe egbo onye okun awo. Do not wound the animal. You cannot kill. So if you are Igbo person, you have not dropped your insult, please drop it. I'm coming for you. Njuhi. Okoko sibe wo hero. I see Francis for now. I greet you, my lovely brother. Good morning from here. I see Utomokbo in the morning. He say, wake them all by force. Yes, my brother. They will wake up. They will wake up. Thank you. Thank you so much. He say, Fulani sees shaggy for them hand. Honestly, that is why it looks like as if they don't forgive. There are things you don't do to people. When I work with this set of mischievous individuals, the point is when you think this one is okay, they disappoint you. Even worse than the one you are afraid of it has done to you. It's amazing. And yet they rally around and support the criminal. And we are here and they're talking rubbish. And why they take our very life from us? We say, Usain Bolt, show them shaggy. Yes, now they kind of show them shaggy. Shaggy, they don't learn. Idu Stephen, I greet you. Igu Abuchi, I greet you. And of course, so many names here. But I'm here to see insult. Here to see insult. No insult. No insult. If you have insult, please drop the insult. It's a motivating factor. I love it. So that our people can be able to see how stupid you are. Because you think you have sense. Who blew up the bridge that trapped the Asaba people? That is a question they don't want to talk about. But they will take the people they betrayed. They betrayed Achuse. The people they betrayed. They will tell you, oh, look at what Igbo did, the Nigerian did in Asaba. But they don't tell you the game they play. All of Onanyoma people, we see they do a romancing, thinking that when things go wrong, you will see what Achuse see. Don't worry. We are just saying it so that Anyoma can have themselves. Nothing more, nothing less. In the absence of any insult, let's keep going. Share this video to our people. Have a nice day.